end each show by saying be kind to one another.
Breaking news tonight. Is the Queen of Nice really the Queen of Me?
Toxic, phony, hypocrite, liar. That's what she is.
They tell you, you can't be smarter, funnier than Ellen. She's the comedian and the star, not you.
She emailed the owner of the restaurant and complained about your chip nail polish.
What?
And I was like, what?
When Combs didn't get his way, he was violent. And he subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse so that they would participate in the freak-offs.
A beautiful woman up there. That's your mother, isn't it, huh?
Yeah, look at her.
Hello.
Yeah, she's available if you're interested. I'd like to offer her.
Oh, well, you know where that is too, right? It's a similar image to that, right?
No.
I know Jamie does.
What is it?
It's on the set of a famous talk show that's now not on anymore.
Oh, Ellen? Was that Ellen?
Yeah.
Really?
Just look at the temple and then look at the...
Let me see Ellen's background. What? Oh, similar. That looks like a building, though.
Imagine for a second that you've spent 30 years building a porcelain tower. Every brick is laid with a smile, every window is polished with a joke, and the entire structure is held together by 3 simple words. Be kind to one another. It's a billion-dollar brand, a cultural safety blanket, and for a long time, it made Ellen DeGeneres the most untouchable woman in Hollywood. But then, almost overnight, the porcelain started to spiderweb. The Queen of Nice wasn't just losing her crown, she was losing the room. We all watched as the reports of a toxic workplace surfaced, and we watched as the ratings for her long-running talk show cratered. But the real story isn't just about a show ending, it's about what happened next. It's about a sudden, dramatic exit from the United States, a massive real estate play in the English countryside, and a resurfaced connection to one of the darkest scandals currently rocking the music industry. Was Ellen truly fleeing a political climate she couldn't handle, or was she putting an ocean of distance between herself and a fire that was getting dangerously close to home? When you look at the timeline, the official version of the story starts to feel a lot like a scripted monologue.
Ellen DeGeneres finds herself at the center of a storm of controversy.
Being accused of going too far, too gay.
Toxic, phony, hypocrite, liar. That's what she is. This environment, this toxic culture that she created in the office has been going on for 16 years.
In 2018, Dana DiMatteo flew from Chicago to Los Angeles and was delighted to be picked out of the audience to have some fun with Ellen. But then she says she was shocked when she was briefed on the comedy bit by the producers.
And they tell you, you can't be smarter, funnier than Ellen. She's the comedian and the star, not you.
She emailed the owner of the restaurant and complained about your chip nail polish.
What?
And I was like, what?
But the scandals on set might be the least of Ellen's problems. For years, a much darker theory has been circulating in the shadows of Hollywood, one involving the tragic and sudden passing of her former partner, Heche.
Actress Heche is in critical condition today after a fiery car crash in Los Angeles on Friday. That's according to our NBC station there. Police say it happened late Friday morning after Heche's Mini Cooper was spotted speeding down a residential street, apparently hitting a curb before it was launched 30 feet into a home where it caught on fire. The 53-year-old Heche, who once dated Ellen DeGeneres, has appeared in numerous TV and film roles.
Some believe Anne was on the verge of exposing secrets that the industry wanted kept quiet. And when you look at the strange circumstances surrounding her final moments, the timing starts to look incredibly suspicious.
Remember Anne Heche?
This video showing the woman on a stretcher flailing and, according to neighbors, screaming at the time. Authorities say she suffered burns and was taken to the hospital in critical condition.
Yeah, she passed away.
She did. She'd been involved with Ellen DeGeneres. They'd broken up, but apparently Anne Heche was uncovering this incredible pedophile ring.
By understanding how human trafficking really works, you can make a difference in the life of someone at risk. Call the National Human Trafficking Hotline.
And so, well, this is what it says here, that cannibal Ellen DeGeneres ate Anne Heche after murdering her.
Now investigators have confirmed that after Anne's death, Ellen pulled strings to claim her body, storing it in a mansion freezer like some kind of relic. Over the years, Ellen allegedly consumed parts of Anne in deliberate occult ceremonies.
There is a persistent, disturbing rumor in the depths of Hollywood about what the elite allegedly use to maintain their youth. Many believe that when the inner circle is disrupted, the physical toll becomes visible almost overnight. When you look at the recent footage of Ellen, the change is undeniable. Insiders are now questioning if her sudden transformation is the result of being cut off from the industry's darkest secrets. This theory suggests that what we're seeing isn't just stress, it's the mask finally slipping in more ways than one.
You know, the internet's cruel as you age, and people are being mean about Ellen DeGeneres' appearance.
Ellen DeGeneres looks very different these days and appears to have aged quite significantly in the last few years.
Why does Ellen DeGeneres suddenly look 20 years older?
Why does 64-year-old Ellen DeGeneres look so different?
Apparently now that she no longer has access to children's blood, she's aging.
Well, it's hard to get. You just don't get it in an Audi.
No. Well, now they've interrupted the supply chain. Now the Epstein files of all whatever. She's just not getting it, and therefore all of ULAN's not going to cut it.
While Ellen's camp was busy telling the media she moved to England to escape a political headache, the internet was busy doing the math. When you look at the exact date she packed her bags, it aligns perfectly with the moment the legal storm surrounding P. Diddy and the resurfacing of certain names from the past began to peak. Was it a coincidence, or did the Queen of Nice simply see the writing on the wall before the rest of us did? The following clips show exactly why the world started connecting dots that Ellen was desperate to keep separate.
The internet completely lost its mind when Ellen DeGeneres quietly left America right as the Sean investigation exploded everywhere. Officially, reports claimed Ellen moved because of politics and Donald Trump's election victory, but online investigators immediately noticed the timing looked terrifyingly suspicious. Why leave now? Why disappear overseas while old Diddy party clips and Epstein conversations suddenly resurfaced together online? Then people started replaying Ellen's interviews joking about Diddy's after parties, and suddenly the laughter didn't sound harmless anymore. Every clip started feeling darker after federal raids and lawsuits began exposing what allegedly happened inside celebrity circles for years. And because Ellen built her entire image around kindness and trust, the contrast became explosive. Critics started wondering if Hollywood's friendliest faces were hiding the ugliest secrets all along. The scariest part? The internet believes Ellen's departure wasn't random timing at all. They think somebody saw the storm coming before the public did.
So tell me about your birthday party. Am I invited?
Yes.
Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's that?
And then, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel.
And then it will carry on there.
No, I mean the after party.
No, I know about that.
There's a clip where Ellen thanks Diddy for being the life of the party. Another where she jokes about not knowing which parties she's been invited to. At the time, it was just talk show humor.
You're going to be early for my party?
Yes, I am. No. I have to arrive fashionably late.
All right. Not too late, though.
Not too late?
Not too late, please.
What time would you like me there?
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
But not too late. Because, once you get there, the party really starts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Stories, rumors, whispers that never quite made it mainstream until they did. And during all of that time, Ellen continued platforming him. Year after year, she brought him onto her show. She praised him, she joked with him, she put him in front of massive daytime audiences, including children. At one point, she even referred to him as her favorite guest. You don't casually give someone a nickname like Cuddle McSnugglestuff if they're just a distant industry acquaintance. That suggests comfort, familiarity, real closeness. Now, I'm not accusing Ellen of committing crimes alongside him. There's no official evidence of that. But when you've been embedded in Hollywood at the highest level for decades, when you're constantly surrounded by elite power players, it's difficult to believe you were completely unaware of the darker whispers. Especially when those whispers were allegedly an open secret. And when the investigations into Diddy started heating up, when federal raids began and serious accusations started surfacing, Ellen had absolutely nothing to say. No distancing statement, no public clarification, just silence.
Ellen, were you surprised by the allegations about P. Diddy? Did that surprise you about P. Diddy? He's been on your show many times. Have a good night. Have you been to his parties?
When Combs didn't get his way, he was violent. And he subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse so that they would participate in the freak-offs.
In November 2024, Ellen and her wife Portia de Rossi packed up and moved to the Cotswolds in southwest England. The official reason given to friends was that she was fleeing the political climate of the United States. She claimed she didn't want to live under another Trump administration and framed the move as a principled stand for LGBTQ+ rights. On the surface, it's a narrative that fits her brand, but when you dig into the financial mechanics, a different story emerges. Ellen is a prolific real estate flipper, having bought and sold more than 50 properties over the last 2 decades. Almost immediately after arriving in England, she bought a $20 million estate, launched a massive renovation, and then quickly acquired another mansion for $30 million. Here is where it gets interesting. UK tax laws often allow for significant capital gains tax reductions if a property is classified as your primary residence, even for a short period. By establishing residency in England right as her US career was ending, Ellen wasn't just finding a new home, she was potentially protecting millions of dollars in assets. It looks less like a political exile and more like a calculated financial exit strategy. Why move now? Because the Ellen brand is no longer a viable income stream in America. Moving to a new market, under the guise of political protest, allows her to pivot her business model to international real estate without the toxic label following her quite as closely.
I always end each show by saying be kind to one another.
Breaking news tonight. Is the Queen of Nice really the Queen of Me?
Oh yeah, I got kicked out of show business. Yeah, because I'm mean. No mean people in show business. For those of you keeping score, this is the second time I've been kicked out of show business. Can't be gay and be in show business. Mean, old, and gay, the triple crown. I have OCD and ADD. I'm honest, I'm generous, I'm sensitive and thoughtful, but I'm tough and I'm impatient and I'm demanding, I'm direct. I'm a strong woman.
The essence of the special really was totally a lie.
Did you feel like you were being canceled?
I mean, I really didn't understand it. I still don't understand it. It was too orchestrated. It was too coordinated. And, you know, people get picked on, but for 4 months straight for me, and then for me to read in the press about a toxic work environment when all I've ever heard from every guest that comes on the show is what a happy atmosphere this is and what a happy place it is.
Publicly, she painted the move as embracing simple farm life, as if she had suddenly become one with the English countryside.
Hello, sheep. You're not supposed to be in here.
Sheep will be fun. Good job, baby.
You can do it, baby.
We're going in a circle. Much admiration for rowers.
If Ellen thought she was moving to a peaceful, sleepy English village where no one would bother her, she was sorely mistaken. The residents of Great 2, where her estate is located, were reportedly less than thrilled with their new celebrity neighbor. Almost immediately, controversies began to swirl around her massive renovation projects. There were reports that fencing was installed without proper permissions, potentially disrupting the natural drainage of the surrounding area and causing issues for the local farmers. But the most shocking allegation involved the historical footprint of the land. Some local reports suggested that her construction crews may have disturbed ancient Roman remains that are known to exist in that region of England. For a woman who claimed she was moving to the countryside to embrace a simple life, she seemed to be bringing a very Hollywood level of entitlement to a community that values tradition and quiet. Then came what some locals called poetic justice. Months after she moved in, massive flooding hit the region. Images surfaced of her multi-million-dollar estate surrounded by murky, rising water. It was a visual metaphor that wasn't lost on the public. You can fly across an ocean and buy the most expensive house in the village, but you can't control the elements, and you can't always outrun your reputation.
The rollout didn't exactly go smoothly. Local residents reportedly weren't thrilled. There were complaints about renovation permissions, questions about whether proper approvals had been obtained, concerns that fencing modifications might disrupt natural water flow in the village. Some reports even suggested that construction could have disturbed ancient Roman remains in the area, which, if true, is not exactly a great look when you're presenting yourself as the peaceful countryside neighbor. And then came the irony. Months after the renovations, while the farmhouse was still sitting on the market, flooding hit the region. The estate ended up surrounded by murky water. Now, I'm not saying the universe keeps receipts, but the symbolism was poetic. As for the broader conspiracy theories floating around online, especially in relation to Diddy or Epstein, it's important to separate speculation from documented fact.
There are some serious allegations of Trump, the current president of the United States.
Newly released documents that were missing from the Epstein files contain serious, unverified allegations against President Trump. The Justice Department posted 3 FBI memos describing interviews with a woman who accuses both Jeffrey Epstein and President Trump of sexually assaulting her when she was a teenager. The White House calls the accusations completely baseless.
Suddenly, new FBI memos come out tied to Jeffrey Epstein. And now Donald Trump is being mentioned in unverified allegations. And you're sitting there like, wait, what?
This individual was interviewed by the FBI 4 times, and initially only 1 memo was released in that initial batch of documents released by the Justice Department, and that was an interview where she made allegations against Jeffrey Epstein, but not against President Trump. Now, yesterday, these additional summaries were released, and they detail the types of allegations that she made against President Trump, where she describes being introduced to him. She alleges that he asked everyone to leave the room and, quote, mentioned something to the effect of, quote, let's teach you how little girls are supposed to be, and then describes an encounter where he pushes her head down to his and then told agents she bit Trump, who then allegedly struck her and said something like, get this little expletive the hell out of here. Now, in her 3rd interview, she allegedly said that she was receiving threatening calls.
You're a beautiful woman up there. That's your mother, isn't it, huh?
Yeah, look at her.
Hello.
Yeah, she's available if you're interested. I'd like to offer her.
Ellen's downfall marks a very specific era in entertainment. For decades, we allowed celebrities to curate these hyper-polished, perfect personas. We wanted to believe that the people on our TV screens were exactly who they claimed to be. But the Me Too movement and the rise of social media transparency have turned on a spotlight that can't be turned off. We now live in an era where authenticity is the only currency that matters, and nice is often seen as a mask for compliant. Ellen's mistake wasn't just being a difficult boss. It was building a brand that made being a difficult boss an act of hypocrisy. When you demand that the world be kind, you are held to a standard that no human can actually maintain. Her fall has changed the way we view celebrity activism. We are now more skeptical of the dancing host and more interested in what the people in the basement are saying. The era of the Queen of Nice is over, replaced by a world where we would rather have a celebrity be honest and flawed than polished and fake.
There are people in America and Republicans who would quite like to undo the right for gay people to get married. I mean, that's back on the table as a debate, I think,
absolutely.
isn't
it? The Baptist Church in America is trying to reverse gay marriage. They're trying to, at the very least, stop it from happening in the future and possibly reverse it. And Portia and I are already looking into it, and if they do that, we're going to get married here.
Ellen has openly maintained a friendly relationship with former President George W. Bush, who, during his presidency, opposed same-sex marriage.
It's none of my business what somebody's. Now, when somebody makes it my business, like on gay marriage, I'm going to stand up and say I don't support gay marriage. In my state of Texas, if we tried to have gay marriage, I would campaign against it.
That's the part that keeps the conversation alive. Because you've got documented interactions, public appearances, and years of association.
So these unsent draft emails in this particular situation have caught a lot of attention. What do you know about them?
That's right. Well, Aaron, these 2 drafted emails are both dated July 18th, 2013, and they were saved in Jeffrey Epstein's email accounts. They appear to be draft emails from Epstein to itself. It's not actually clear who authored them, and there's no indication the messages were ever sent, no evidence they were shared with Bill Gates or anyone else. Now, in those draft emails, Epstein or whoever authored them makes graphic and explicit and unverified allegations about Gates. Within one email, Epstein claimed he helped, quote, get in order to deal with the consequences of with Russian girls and set up illicit trysts with married women. The email also references Gates' draft email, alleges that Gates tearfully asked Epstein to delete messages referencing an STD, writing, your request that I provide you antibiotics that you surreptitiously give to Melinda. It also says Gates asked him to delete explicit personal details about his. Now, a representative for Gates strongly denied those claims, telling CNN they were, quote, absolutely absurd and absolutely false. And Gates himself was asked about this by a CNN affiliate in Australia. Take a listen to what he said here.
Gates completely denied it, called it false, and said every minute he spent with Jeffrey Epstein was a mistake he regrets.
Apparently, Jeffrey wrote an email to himself. That email was never sent. The email is, false. So I don't know what his thinking was there. It just reminds me, every minute I spent with him, I regret and I, apologize that I did that. It's factually true that I was only at dinners. I never went to the island. I never met any women. And so, the more that comes out, the more clear it'll be that although the time was a mistake, it had nothing to do with that kind of behavior.
What also stands out, Aaron, is how much Epstein was advising Gates on his philanthropic strategy more than previously known. And it appears in at least one of those emails that Gates took Epstein's advice seriously. For instance, an email exchange from August 2014 shows Gates and Epstein discussing Gates' approach to philanthropy. Epstein wrote to Gates, I am confident that with the right approach, you'll be able to raise at least $100 billion. Everyone of hyper wealth is dealing with the same issues. How to give some away? I can see that selling yourself is not your strong point, to which Gates replied, I agree, I should not use slides or even do a presentation. I do think a bit about how surprised I am at how tough doing good philanthropy is, and what really has worked might be interesting to them. I will find a time for us to talk this week. Those were not the only meetings, according to Epstein's calendars and emails, which we went through. Epstein's email listed a dinner with Gates in December 2010, a possible lunch in February 2011, followed by a dinner in April and October 2011. The records also show a planned meeting in Norway in August 2012, another a week later, 2 meetings in February 2013, a possible dinner in September 2013 in which Epstein extended an invite to a Norwegian diplomat. We also saw a Google Calendar reminder for a Skype meeting with Gates in January 2014, a meeting and a phone call in September 2014.
Melinda Gates comes out, and you can tell this isn't just media noise for her. She's talking about how no girl should ever go through what those victims went through around Jeffrey Epstein, and you can hear it. It's not political, it's personal. She literally says it brings back painful memories from her marriage with Bill Gates.
So where does that leave Ellen DeGeneres? She is currently in a state of reputation limbo. She has the money, she has the real estate, and she still has a level of fame that most people can only dream of. But she no longer has the trust variable. And in the world of daytime television, trust is the only thing that actually converts into ratings. Every move she makes now is scrutinized through the lens of her past scandals and her mysterious associations. As the investigations into Diddy and other high-profile Hollywood figures continue to unfold, her silence speaks louder than any monologue she could ever write. Was she a participant, a witness, or just a bystander who got too close to the flame? We may never know the full truth, but the optics are undeniable. Ellen DeGeneres builds a career on talking, but it's her refusal to answer the real questions that will likely be her legacy. You can change your zip code, you can flip your mansions, and you can cross the Atlantic as many times as you want. But at the end of the day, you can't rebrand a shattered illusion. The porcelain tower is down, and no amount of kindness slogans is going to glue it back together. But I want to hear from you. Do you think the move to England was a genuine escape, or just the ultimate Hollywood distraction? Drop your thoughts below, and if you found this breakdown interesting, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. We've got plenty more deep dives into the dark side of the spotlight coming your way. I'll see you in the next one.